Hi, good night, everyone. So today we're going to be live on stream for a YouTube live event. So we're going to be talking about LCS business, LCS in Google in Indonesia. We're going to talk about the opportunity here in Google, and then here with me I have three awesome Googlers. So Madeline, Adi, and Purnomo. Just wave your hand.
Hi
Hi
guys.
everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, so basically, three of them are part of a Googler in Indonesia. So we'll be sharing with you about an opportunity in Google, about what day-to-day life is in Google, and then we're also talking about the opportunity available in Google, and we'll see about how the recruitment process is going to work in Google. So why don't we just start with an introduction with the three of our awesome Googlers? So let's start with Purnomo.
Oke, Hi everyone, selamat malam semuanya. Terima kasih sudah bergabung di dalam YouTube Live Event. Nama saya Purnomo Kristanto. I have been with Google for 7 years, working across multiple teams, and I'm super excited to be part of this. And I would love to share informations and also some tips.
Excellent.
Okay. So I'm Adi, Yudhishthira Adi Nugroho, but you can call me Adi. I've been with Google for almost 4 years now, working as an industry analyst for finance, auto, tech, and telco verticals. Yeah, I love Google, and I want you to love Google as well.
Cool. Excellent.
So I'm Mads. Fajar introduced me as Madeline, but please do call me Mads.
Right.
I'm the industry head taking care of travel and e-commerce, and compared to the two of them, I'm probably the youngest in Google. I've only been here for a year, and yes, thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully you guys can stay during the whole time that we are actually live.
Excellent. So let's just get started with what Google Indonesia is doing. I mean, Purnomo, you can perhaps share about what Google Indonesia is doing, like what are the business available here, and particularly about the large customer sales team. So tell us more about it.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a great question, and I'm so honored to answer these first questions and put a lot of pressure. So, on all seriousness, LCS is a large client service where we help strategic clients to grow their business through our online advertising solutions. But of course, I believe all of you have been using Google search to find information, and also YouTube to get a lot of the how-tos atau bagaimana cara memasak, bagaimana cara merawat anak, bagaimana cara merawat mobil, and everything you can find there. So basically, that's the way how we help our clients to go digital. And in terms of the role itself, I think it's very rewarding karena di LCS ini tentunya kita bantu Google untuk grow their business, tapi juga kita lihat bahwa bagaimana kita bisa membantu klien kita untuk grow bisnis mereka juga. Jadi basically it helps the whole economy to grow, and of course we are part of Indonesian bigger or larger kind of purpose that we want to make sure that we are in the digital stage, and di sinilah kita bisa membantu.
Right.
Yeah. Saya mau tambah aja ya, like what Purnomo said. So in terms of like the large customer sales part, right? Like aside from like digitizing like some of our clients, we have like other teams as well who actually like make sure like, hey, we are able to teach like people like in certain areas in Indonesia. To actually become internet savvy. So like that's one of the things that we are also doing in Google Indonesia. And like we have other groups also wherein like it's all about like, oh, I'm a first time advertiser on Google, and we
Yep.
actually like really help them like to understand like what's the objective, what are the things that you need, is it really to grow your business, to grow sales, or really for brand awareness. So those are like just some additional things that I want to share with what Purnomo just mentioned.
Well, perfect. So let's just dive into a little deeper about what their today life is in Google. So let's start with Madeline as an industry head
okay.
in Google. So how is it structured in the team, and what's the LCS team structure in Indonesia?
So maybe like in terms of like the structure, right? Like Fajar, like on our end, like for LCS as an industry head, I have like a few people reporting to me who are actually like industry managers. these are like the key partners of the clients who actually like talk about strategy, talk about like long term, and we have like the account managers who can go deep and
Right.
have that like very close relationship with the clients, really understanding like what are the things that they need and
Right.
what are the things that they're looking for. And like Adi, actually Adi can share more about being an industry analyst.
Right.
So they're really like those special, I would use the word special people who would like really like be the partner and the consultants
Right.
for the partner to talk about like total industry, what are the trends, what are they looking for. So like I'll share also like a typical day for me. So like in Google, we always talk about like we just don't focus on our clients.
Right.
We also think about like the total industry.
Yeah.
Like really look into okay, what are the opportunities that maybe the clients or the partners have not seen yet. So it's really more about like giving them the bigger picture, looking at the opportunities and stuff like that. So that's a typical day for me. It's all about reading the news,
Right.
checking like
On the
online,
bigger picture, yeah.
picture, like it's a sales team, and also like checking with the team like what are the things they're concerned about, what are the things they're happy about,
Right.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Adi, as an industry analyst?
Yeah,
Your
so
day-to-day?
like Matt says, my role is a bit special because I'm the analyst between the amazing sales that we have here. So, you know, basically Google is a very data-driven companies, and we want our clients to be data-driven as well. And therefore, the way we introduce our solutions is with data, basically.
Right.
So, as we know, Indonesia is going through a digital transformation, and we want our clients to be always updated on
Right.
that trends, right? And hence, they can always use our solutions in order to, you know, to be able to grow during the disruption of digital.
I see.
So one day to day of my life at Google will be creating insights. So I work together with Purnomo, with Matt and their team on, you know, going to clients and solving their business ideas using the tools and research that Google do basically. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's more on that front. Yeah.
Sounds interesting and challenging at the same time.
Yes.
What about you, Purnomo?
Yeah, I think similar to Matt. We really focus on the big picture and how we can transform our clients and also solve their business challenges. Because I believe each client has its own challenges, has its own unique value propositions, and then this is the way how Google can help clients and also see what are their strengths, what are their weakness, and also look at the overall industry. So meeting with the C-levels, meeting with our partners
Right.
to really understand and find some opportunities, how we can grow together, and also how we can significantly transform their business towards
Right.
digital.
So, well, what about the things that you enjoy the most, having been doing all those big picture stuff, the challenging work? What about the things that you actually enjoy the most in Google?
Oh, I want to take this.
Sure. Let's do
Volunteer,
it, Matt.
volunteer. No, because I think like what I really enjoy about working with Google is we really get the chance to meet like all kinds of people.
Right.
I mean, like on my end, like I mentioned, like I'm taking care of e-commerce and travel. But I get to meet like startups, like young people who have like this big idea,
Yeah.
who actually are like they want to really advance Indonesia. Okay, I'm speaking like as a foreigner. I'm actually Filipino, but I've been in Indonesia for
Oh, I
9 years.
don't
Udah lama
realize
la. Udah lama la. Tapi, but it's actually inspiring for me to meet like all these aspiring like entrepreneurs or
Yeah.
digital entrepreneurs.
I see.
So I think that's like super exciting for me. Like 9 years ago when I first moved to Indonesia, there was no unicorn.
I see.
I mean, like right now, I think Indonesia like takes pride
Right.
in having like all these unicorns, decacorns. So yeah, it's exciting times. Like that's what I really enjoy about working in Google.
Anything interesting from you guys?
I think for me specifically is because I just love data and my background is data. So Google really give me like wadah ya untuk really
Yeah.
explore on my passion on data, and even if I have some questions or hypotheses in my mind that I want to check, then Google will fully supportive on that, and hence like my passion as a data analyst is really, being accommodated by Google gitu.
I see.
And second is I love presenting data.
Wow, sounds like hard.
So during my 4 years at Google, I was very fortunate to be able to present my insights to the press and also to a big conference like, where there's a lot of marketers there, present in front of C-levels, which maybe if I were not in Google with an experience less than 10 years, I will not be able to like present in front of the CEO of a big Fortune 500 company. So I think I found that very, amazing, and I feel humbled by that as well.
I see.
Ya, mungkin dari saya adalah kesempatan untuk bisa bekerja bersama dengan amazing Googlers seperti Matt, Adi dan Fajar. Itu memang menginspirasi saya selama 7 tahun terakhir. Dan kalau kita lihat bahwa tadi Matt sudah touch upon it at the beginning a little bit, bahwa ketika Google Indonesia ada di sini, kita punya komitmen untuk membangun Indonesia bersama-sama.
Right.
Oleh karena itu, kalau dilihat dari sesi ini memang tentu mengenai large client sales atau large client service. Tapi kalau kita lihat dari gambaran secara besarnya bahwa kita mau sebagai orang Indonesia untuk maju bersama dengan rakyat Indonesia, dan hopefully Google can help to bring Indonesia to different levels.
Right. And you've been here with Google for the longest time, right? I mean, 5+ years, 7 years. So I guess definitely you will have like a lot of different careers along the way, right? So how do you find it so far? Like the possibility of doing multiple stuffs, different stuffs. Basically?
Yeah, I think I was lucky. I joined Google back in 2012. At the time, I was working to support small medium business. But of course, throughout these 7 years, I have the great opportunity to expand and of course challenge myself on certain things or certain area that I need to work on, or maybe also sharpening the area that I've been working on. So I think sangat memberikan saya tuh semangat. Jadi selama 7 tahun terakhir ini saya nggak merasa udah 7 tahun di
Exactly.
Bahwa saya bilang, sudah 7 tahun, I've been here for 7 years.
Right.
Dan sangat menarik karena Google sendiri itu memberikan peluang kepada semua Googlers untuk pursue their dream and pursue their passions. Dan tentunya kesempatan saya terutama untuk balik ke Indonesia di 1 tahun terakhir ini, mungkin nanti ada pertanyaan itu kan?
Ya,
oke. Jadi saya cerita.
Or if you want to go continue, then that's fine. So let's talk about your past experience. Why did you eventually decided to join Google?
Betul. Jadi menarik sekali. Saya sudah berada di luar negeri itu hampir sekitar 18 tahun. 18 years I've been away. But last year I've got the opportunity untuk contribute ke negara Indonesia. Dan waktu itu saya tidak pikir panjang, saya bilang langsung yes, I want. Karena saya percaya dengan opportunity yang ada di Indonesia. We have a big opportunity dan kita semua ini play part into it. Oleh karena itu setelah di small medium business team, saya sekarang move ke large client service team, di mana tadi yang kita sampaikan sedikit, kita membantu large client, tapi yang lebih menarik lagi adalah peluangnya besar dan kita banyak area yang kita bisa kerjakan bersama untuk membangun Indonesia lebih baik lagi.
Right. What about you, Adi? Your previous experience prior to Google?
So my previous experience is research agency. So saya kerja di one of the biggest research agency in Indonesia, in the world. And first of all, when I joined Google, I feel like, oh, this is a very techy company, and I was GapTech, and I'm still GapTech till now. Like I don't use the latest phones or the latest even the Pixel phone.
It's coming soon now.
It's coming soon now. I don't know what is the latest processors or whatever. But I think my passion on data and analysis really what brings me here, and and I think Google, even though it's not a pure data company, it still offers a meaty opportunity for like a data person like me.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt?
So I think like coming from Adi, right? Like my background is actually liberal arts. Yeah. So very different.
So different.
So very different. So people actually have this assumption yang sa mga karya di Google, engineering background or have worked in consulting.
Mm-hmm.
So I will tell you, I did not graduate from an engineering background but we definitely like welcome. I think like everybody. I think like that's one of the key things that I want to highlight. Like in my experience, like my background has I worked in the Philippines, Singapore, then kerja di Indonesia, mostly in startups, then telco. So I've done the whole like everybody will start counting. But in 2000, I was part of a startup in the Philippines.
Wow.
So different stage lah. So I think like and before joining Google, I actually stopped working for 2 years. I think that's like one of the key things that I want to highlight. Like Google actually gave me that opportunity to come back to working again. So I focused on having like some personal time. And yeah, like before joining Google, I actually like stopped working, and Google gave me the chance.
Well, very interesting to see that those guys are coming from a very different background.
That's
Yet
true.
they are here together, and I don't know.
True.
Perhaps, but I don't know. Things that you have done so far. Like, what's the most memorable moment for each of you? Perhaps, like how do you guys make an impact, and how do you guys find it to be maybe fulfilling to you?
So I think like on my end, I mentioned a bit about like working with startups,
Right.
meeting like all these different people. I think like Google, like one of the most memorable things for me was like when we have like some guests
Right.
or startups coming from other countries, and they come to Indonesia and they want to know more about Indonesia. They usually come to us
I see.
in Google. We're in
Cool.
they want to know more about Indonesia, and I'm actually very, very proud to talk about Indonesia. Like, you
Excellent.
should start investing in Indonesia. There are like a lot of opportunities because I'm like that example.
I
Like
see.
before moving here, I was actually working in Singapore, right? So like the reason that I'm here was because of like that opportunity. Like
Right.
like how many internet users can you tap? Like it's all about digital. We have the talent also and stuff like that. Yeah, so maybe the N4 can actually add.
Sure.
So for me, last year I and the team made this report called Year in Search. So it's a
Yes.
compilation of a lot of the insights that we produced during 2018. So we compiled into one report, full report,
Right.
and we disebar ke almost thousands
Thousands.
of
Yeah.
attendees of Google for
Right.
Indonesia, and also available online. So if you guys haven't downloaded, go to thing with google.com and search for Year in Search 2018 Indonesia.
Check that out.
Now in that report, it's being downloaded by many people. Not only like the big companies, the bosses of the big companies, but also like small businesses. Like Matt said, maybe even SMEs, not only startups, SMEs yang baru berusaha going digital.
Yeah.
And then because of that, I got invitations to present in front of SMEs community. So I think it's really fulfilling banget karena when working with big clients, of course you feel fulfilled because you help grow the economy in a macro in a macro ways. But when you are able to help like a small business to establish their digital presence, I think it feels really
Right.
really
Yeah.
fulfilling. I think it's for me.
I think similar. I think the magic moment that I have for the past 7 years. Saya masih ingat ketika saya di Singapura dan membantu SMB. I remember there's one person who have this service called Akika. Jadi Akika is basically daging persembahan. The way how
a newborn,
newborn
in the
Akika.
Islamic way.
And then I pick up the call. This guy asked us help. The budget's very small, but what's really rewarding adalah at the end, after 1 year working together with this SMB, basically this person sent a thank you note to Google team, basically, and say that thank you for being part of the dish, because through collaborations with SMB, dia berhasil untuk membangun tempat ibadah, dia mempekerjakan tetangga-tetangganya, dan dia memberikan harapan ke anaknya supaya bisa bersekolah. So for me, it's like a magic moment. I will not forget about this. It's not about how big, but it's about the connection that matters.
Exactly.
And yung impactnya
Yeah, impactnya. So for me, it's like I have so many magic moments, but I remember that person. I cannot tell the name, but Akika. That's the business.
Right. Excellent. So inspiring. I mean, it gives you a chance to actually, see
Yeah.
the impact on the social level,
Yeah.
right? So now with that in mind, some of our viewers mungkin tertarik juga untuk be part of Google. So what kind of tips, skills that you think is required for people to be joining us? What do you think?
Because I think like on our end, right, like they would add like a few things
of
also. I think like my experience when I first interviewed for Google, I really prepared.
Right.
I think like that's one of the key things that I did. Like
Plus one.
yeah,
Plus 100.
I really like reviewed all the things because like just to share, like I mentioned, I stopped working for 2 years. I really read up about the industry. I read up about like
Right.
the company, like how Google is doing in general and stuff like that. I think that's super important. Like even the interviewers would appreciate like people who researched or prepared for the
course.
interview. I think that's like key. Number 2, like for Google, right? Like I would say like for certain things or the things that we ask, people have this tendency to actually like answer
Yeah, yeah.
right up front. I think like what I learned with Google, even during my interview process,
Right.
was the interviewer always give you that chance to like step back, think about it, and actually like probe. I think like that's my second tip. Don't be shy to ask questions and don't be shy to ask for a bit of time. I mean,
Yeah.
like, okay, can I try to understand the question?
Yeah.
And like, did I understand the question properly? Or bisa ngomong bahasa, gapapakan bahasa Indonesia, boleh. So I think like that's one. Like, take your time. I mean, like, there's no time period. Yang,
Exactly.
As long
Yeah,
as
yeah.
you can deliver the message. Those are like the 2 key things that I want to highlight.
Right.
Like,
I think I really agree on the preparation. But maybe what I want to add from Matt's point is, before my interview, I usually reflect on my experience.
Yeah.
So I literally wrote down apa experience yang udah saya lakukan, what are my big projects from my previous roles in my previous companies, and what makes it different, and what's my roles, what's my contribution to
Right.
that overall projects, and how will I do, what is the learning from that project, and how would I do it differently. So just to really reflect on 3 or 4 big projects that you have done in the past and really go deep dive on that, I think it will really help you in explaining, and answering the questions, because a lot of the questions are about the past experiences that you
Yeah.
have already
Right.
done, right? Yeah.
Bruno.
I think Matt and Adi already touched all the key points. So this is a privilege of being the last one. But I think one additional things that I want to add, so plus one on be prepared, be ready, like write down all your past experience, make sure that it's relevant and how you can add value. I think number 3, mungkin yang juga nggak kalah pentingnya, be yourself.
Yeah, totally agree.
Karena each one of us is very unique. Kita
Yes.
semua unik, kalian semua juga unik. Jadi percayalah bahwa kita semua punya sesuatu unik yang kita bisa tawarkan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jadi daripada kita
Pretend to
be someone
Yes,
else
yes.
and try to impress
Exactly,
your
exactly.
interviewers,
Jangan,
ya itu nggak akan bekerja.
And
gitu.
sometimes it shows.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
During the interview
bisa
process.
kerasa gitu
Exactly.
sama interview. So I think be yourself, be honest, and be who you truly are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karena Google is really appreciate. Karena definitely Matt tadi bilang,
Yeah.
you don't have to graduate from engineering backgrounds. You don't have to know certain things.
Yeah.
Tapi your unique experience and how you can bring
Exactly.
it to the table and how you can think out of the box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think is critical.
Actually, like plus 10 points. I think yung be yourself is super
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
I think like I would say like 3 of us have been part of
Yeah.
like the interview panel also. Like we always like encourage, like even during the interview
Yeah.
process, like don't be shy, don't
Yeah.
be
Exactly.
worried. Like
Show your personality.
Show your
Yeah,
personality, because
personality.
every person is unique. I think I
Yeah.
really want to highlight that.
Yeah.
I think like right
Yeah.
now, you can already see like 4 of us very different kan. Like so we welcome like
Yeah.
everybody lah. So I think like just be yourself. I think we've seen like a few interviews yang okay very different. Like it really shows. It really
Yeah.
shows. Yeah.
Well, So interesting. I guess at this point you guys are wondering like how can I get into the Google recruitment process? So I guess I'm representing the staffing team. I'll be sharing with you about the recruitment process itself. So basically Google is a very inclusive environment. We always look out for a new talent with a different perspective
Yes.
and new ideas
Yes,
stuff.
of course.
So definitely you can go check out careers.google.com.
Dicek ya.
Yeah, and then go to location and then cari
Indonesia.
aja Google Indonesia.
Yeah.
So there will be a lot of
Indonesia,
openings. You just
Yeah.
pick one that you think suits for you best, and then look at all the qualifications and make sure that you apply for the one that closely matched to what you have. At the minimum would be on the minimum qualifications. Definitely will be good if you also match with the preferred qualifications. After that, we have a special team to look out for the profile, and if we believe that we see that your profile is quite interesting and will be able to, or at least relevant to what we're looking for, then they will be in touch with you.
Yeah.
And then they will connect you and will be interested in understanding more about your background, your experiences and stuff. So that one coming to an interview process in Google, right? So basically interview process in Google is quite unique. I mean, we've got several attributes that we are looking for.
Yeah.
So the general cognitive ability. So I guess that's basically like your ability to learn new things or solve different problems that you might never have faced previously.
Yeah.
Dan gimana caranya kita bisa put in place a structure, a framework into solving it. Other aspect would be on the leadership, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
definitely Google is an environment where we want somebody to be able to step up
Yeah.
and take ownership and manage project well. So that will be another aspect, and another one would be on the Googliness part. I think this
Very
is very Google.
Very Google,
Yeah, it's very
yeah.
Google.
Yes.
Basically, it's something about how you can do the right thing and then thrive in ambiguity as well.
Yeah.
Karena kan walaupun Google udah perusahaan besar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of changes juga sebenarnya.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the nature of our environment nowadays.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
so I mean, different direction might have different plans. So how can we adapt on that one? That will be definitely the one that the team is looking for.
Of course.
And the last one would be on the
Role
role-related knowledge. So basically, like how can your past experience bring to the table on the your relevant knowledge to perform and to be successful in Google, right? So I guess pretty much that's it about the things that we are looking for and the interview process in Google. Definitely after this, you can also check on Google career page. There will be a section on
Di mana di bawah
interview
nih, no?
tips. So you can check on the live chat box later on. The moderator will provide the link.
Yes.
So I guess that's pretty much about the recruitment process in Google.
Okay.
Now I guess we've got some live questions
Yes.
here already.
Okay.
So challenging one.
Okay, Purnama dulu.
Challenging one.
Thank you.
Yeah. So somebody asked, how can someone switch career to be an account manager? Right now, he or she is a marketing technologist in some ride-hailing company, but different roles turn to be.
How many ride-hailing companies do
We have in Indonesia.
So yeah,
2.
what do you think? Turning to be an account manager from a different role.
Okay, I think like on my end, right? Like I really switch. Like I came from a marketing background, so very relevant lah. Yeah. I think like during my interview process, like I mentioned, yan, saya belum like never did like sales job before. So but I think like after like 1 year in Google, there's that opportunity. I think it's really more about your willingness to work with clients, your willingness to work with clients, your willingness to actually understand.
Right.
And you mentioned something about like the cognitive ability, right? Like to problem solve together with the partner. I think like shifting from marketing to account management, it's very possible. I'm like one of the examples on that one. Yeah, it's really about the willingness. So definitely like go for it.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So excellent. Now another question. This is quite a good one. So somebody is curious on how different is the kind of support needed by large clients for Google compared to the small, medium. Like
okay.
the different
Is this a client
support
or?
providers.
Ini test.
Yeah, it's
Identify yourself.
So yeah, I mean, what's like the different
Support.
the differences, different support that Google provide to
Ada
different
Purnama,
business.
ada Adi, ada Mads.
Cool. So let's go.
For large client? No.
No.
I think basically we Google kita care with all our clients.
Of course.
Yeah.
Jadi that's one thing, that's the basic. Kita tidak ada money penting atau enggak, cuma bagaimana cara kita bekerja sama.
Yeah.
So let me give example. Karena I started from a small medium business. I think the way we work with small medium business too, we do it at scale.
Yes.
Because I know they are at the early stage. Percayalah bahwa semua large client tuh mulai dari SMB kok.
Right.
Yes,
Don't worry.
yes,
So
yes.
jadi semua SMB, we know that we can do at scale. Jadi the way how we work with them, the way how we see the problem, for the past few years Google has existed. I think we know that SMB has a certain challenge. Nah, ketika kita masuk ke LCS atau large clients, yang berbeda adalah kita masuk lebih dalam. Jadi we go deeper in the organizations, dan kita solve itu pertama dengan cara tentunya dengan advertising, sebagaimana sih kita membantu bisnis mereka itu bertumbuh di dunia digital ini. Tapi we don't stop there, karena the avenue is still big, and kita ngomong company itu we see apa opportunity yang bisa kita kerjakan bersama. What kind of opportunity we can work together, and then how we can set more strategic at organization level, dan baru kita go deeper in certain area or certain departments.
I think just to add a little bit on Purnomo's point kan, I think the way we see it is that it depends on the customer's needs juga kan.
Yeah.
Usually small medium business itu needs-nya maybe still on the surface because they just started, and hence our solutions tuh bisa lebih di scale. Jadi bikin like I don't know like a template solutions terus bisa di-send to all of the SMEs yang kira-kira mirip-mirip namanya needs-nya. Where for the big clients usually they're more advanced, their business problem is more complex, and hence it needs more people to really look into the problems. Jadi more customization. I think the way we look at it will be like that sih. Gitu.
Okay, so moving on to another question. It's quite unique. What's the biggest challenge becoming salesperson? And what would be the tips to survive and be successful?
Successful aja, jangan bukan not survive.
Minum air dulu deh.
Okay, let me
Okay.
start because I'm the last salesperson here. No, I think the key is think big. Always think beyond, like always think the best ideal situation for the client, right? And always come from your client problem and business challenge. I think internally, of course, there are expectations and everything, right? But I think we will be successful if our client is successful. And I think it's a good segue because it's one of Purnomo's motto.
One of Purnomo motto. Oh my god. Okay. I totally agree. I have a
Slightly different.
not slightly different, but I always believe all of you are sales. Kita semua
at heart,
at heart kita
At
semua
heart,
sales
yeah.
Contoh mau tembak pacar, it's a sales. You need to
of
sell
course.
yourself,
Right, to pitch.
Ini personal
you need to
branding,
pitch,
personal
betul.
branding.
Personal branding.
Yeah, you want to get something from your parents, you need to make a sales pitch. Jadi basically all of us are sales. Nah,
That's
sekarang I think Adi touched a very good point adalah how we can put client success at the center of everything we do. Right? So ini juga yang membuat I love this company, I love Google, karena the value of Google is how we do the right things and make sure that we put client success at the center of everything. Jadi that's what for me is what really sales is all about, right? So build relationship, build trust is the another layer, but the bottom is how you make sure that you make your client successful.
I think like on my end, yung challenge niya, it's how to actually like put yourself in the client's shoes. I mean like sometimes like we become busy, right? Like we have so many things to think about, and like but we always have to think like, okay, if I'm on that other side of the table, what do I need? What do I actually like? How can Google actually like help me? So I think like for me, that's my personal challenge. Like I always have to step back and like, okay, for 10 seconds, okay, if I'm on that other side of the table, so that's really more of that one for myself. Like that's the biggest challenge for me.
Right. Very good point. Right. Okay. Somebody is very interested in understanding about the whole business in Indonesia. So is Google Indonesia represent all kind of every aspect of Google business like in the US, or basically do we have to deal with the US directly on I don't know, some products perhaps?
I think like on our end, right? Like we have like certain divisions. I would say like certain divisions that are actually like based in Google Indonesia. But the thing is like we work with a lot of people who are sitting in different offices, like from Singapore, like from the US, from Japan, from like Dublin and all these other countries.
India.
So India. So we have like certain if you're asking about like can we actually run, yes, we can definitely run. But the good thing with Google is we do this whole what we call cross-functional groups. We're in like we really talk with like certain experts, quote unquote, or like certain people who have experience in other markets. So those are like that's the reality. Even Purnomo, like Purnomo was working with like some Indonesian partners also when he was like sitting in a different Google office, right? So it's really very cross-functional.
Right. So I guess somebody is very interested in also making an impact and the digital transformation, right? And she is referring to this. Google is helping digital business transformation in LCS. So which area Google is helping in this digital business transformation in particular? Any experience from your work previously?
So I think one of my clients is the big telco companies in Indonesia. And of course, like the core of Google is advertising. So we help, like Purnomo said, we really help to set up their advertising campaigns so that they can be relevant to the nowadays so-called netizens, right?
Yeah.
But besides that, because Google is also strong and analytical, we also help them grow more business online.
Right.
Yeah.
So really open new revenue channel for their sales.
Yes.
Right.
So I think that's really make us unique compared to the other advertising platforms in the country. Yes.
Yeah. And saya mau tambah aja ya. So I think like for us, right, like my experience, some of my clients or some of my partners are looking at like the potential to expand in other countries.
Yeah.
So I think like that's one of the key things that we are able to help them transform their business. We're in like, hey, example, I'll give like okay, I'll go to France. Okay, let's say like I want to expand my business, expand my business in France. So we actually like work together, like check out the sizing, the opportunity in the other countries. So I think that's like one of the key things that we are doing in digital transforming in a way, like these clients to make them spread their wings in other countries lah. Yeah.
I think for me, I think I have a great, not great, but I have a good example for this. So basically, we started with the advertising, digital advertising. Tapi yang menarik adalah gimana sih caranya misalnya grow e-commerce platform sendiri, atau mereka gimana sih caranya make sure bahwa we use machine learning and AI itu on a HR. Jadi bagaimana sih caranya? Jadi perusahaan ini unik karena mereka menerima cukup banyak resume, tapi bagaimana Google bisa bantu dengan machine learning and AI itu to make it more effective gitu. Nah, nggak stop di situ aja. Transformasi yang ada juga di perusahaan yang sama, kita lihat bagaimana kita mengumpulkan data dari distribusi, dari sales, dari semuanya itu untuk menjadi we connect all the dots. Jadi supaya kita tahu apakah kita melakukan sebuah investasi itu tepat atau tidak.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's move on to from doing the work into your own development in Google.
Yeah.
Can you share a bit more about? There's this one.
We need that.
Yeah.
No more business.
What would you say?
Personal.
Yeah. What would you say about employee development in Google? How do you feel? How do you find it so far?
Do you feel developed?
Purnomo being the longest here. So what do you say, Purnomo?
Yeah. After 7 years, I still love this company.
Okay. In all seriousness.
I think we already touched on this, that we have the opportunity to work with a great Googlers. Yeah. dan tentunya juga in terms of career development, I have the privilege to work with the great managers juga. Jadi itu penting bagaimana sih karir di Google ini di-own oleh kita masing-masing.
Right.
Jadi so we own our own career,
Yeah.
but of course managers too will help us to show what is the right way. But decision still us. Nah untuk saya contohnya saya mulai dengan support customer. Setelah itu saya juga mulai dengan lihat bagaimana sih saya bisa make a big impact dengan memiliki tim. Nah setelah itu juga saya pindah ke Indonesia, di mana ini benar-benar area yang cukup berbeda dengan yang saya lakukan karena kita benar-benar fokus di beberapa klien. Saya lihat adalah development itu selalu ada di Google, opportunity selalu terbuka. Yang perlu kita fokus adalah bagaimana sih kita tahu perkembangan kita sendiri. So how we can track our own development. Karena since we own our own career, berbeda mungkin dengan perusahaan-perusahaan yang lain di mana career itu didikte, tapi di Google kita bisa grow horizontal ataupun grow vertikal. Jadi keputusan itu di tangan kita semua masing-masing.
I agree. And I think and I think as an analyst di Google itu there's a lot of opportunity for development. Karena as analysts we have an analyst community.
I see. Yeah.
In like a global community, we also have APAC, Asia Pacific community, and Southeast Asia community.
The Indonesian community.
An Indonesian community of analysts. So meaning that we always have, I want to touch on trainings as well. So we always have trainings for analysts across like very scientific kind of data science, data science to presenting with charisma, you know, like very technical and also like very soft skills kind of speaking trainings juga ada. And of course it also available in Singapore and also in other countries as well. So and like Purnomo said, I can directly go to my manager and draft like my training plan for the year because I need to sharpen these skills, for example, to be able to do my work better, stuff like that. And then the managers can very supportive usually, and then it's that's easy.
It's an ongoing discussion.
Exactly, it's an ongoing discussion as well.
Okay. What about Matt, from your point of view as the people manager? I mean, how would you say about development?
I think like on my end, right? Like and being like just 1 year in the company, I think like on my first day or my first week, I saw all the opportunities for me already. Like I have been trained like as a people manager also. Like what Adi mentioned, yang soft skills niya ada, yang okay, like how to even like talk with like your team. So it's very different. Like in my past career, it was all about like you have to experience. So this one, there's like what I would say like a science. I think that's there. And in terms of my team also, I was just having a chat with my team a few days back. I was like, okay, trainings are very open. Trainings are all visible for every individual in the company lah. So it's just a matter of what are the things that you would prioritize, as mentioned by both of them earlier. Per bulan, per minggu, ada yang conversations between myself and my team. We have regular conversations. Okay, guys, what do you need from me? What trainings do you need? So right now, like, time is the limit. Can I say time is the limit?
As long
time
as
niya is the limit.
The seat available.
And then yung schedule niya, you can match.
And just to add a little bit on that, it's almost like a faculty because every quarter we have a sales
training.
Mandatory sales training that we need to finish every quarter. Right? So we were technically forced to learn something new every quarter, which for us usually if we are very busy with our daily works, then sometimes our brain like freeze, right? But then to learn something new every time, every quarter is like kind of
refreshing.
Like a food for your brains. So I always feel smarter a little bit after.
I feel energized.
No, I can quote the new information. I just learned this.
Exactly. Do you know that? Did you know this before?
Right. Okay. Somebody is very interested in hearing more from your side, Matt, about you're doing industry head role for travel as well. So how do you have the tourism in Indonesia? I mean, for e-commerce perhaps it's quite clear that all those up and coming company. But what about tourism?
So I think like in general, right? Like what I remember like Purnomo udah ngomong, we're talking about like total industry. So we're not just working like with what I call like the online travel agencies or OTAs, but we also work with like who are the enablers, like the partners of the ecosystem. To actually like increase, like for example, like tourism. We work with our analysts also. Yeah, we had like a bit of experience also in terms of they're like startups that really focus on tourism. So we actually like give them insights.
I see.
So we're not talking about just like the established or the large clients, but Adi was also like helping us with that one, wherein we talked with like startups on the tourism. Like we give information to the government as well. Like a few months back, I would say, like we had like the Google Temasek deck
Right.
also, wherein it really talks about like total Indonesia in terms of like ride hailing. Earlier we had like a question from somebody from ride hailing on e-commerce, on travel. So we really give like the information, like how many people have started searching for hotels, for travel, like how many days does a person actually like just a trivia for everybody. This one we shared it before, like when a person is actually buying a hotel booking or doing a hotel booking, Indonesians are very like last minute. It takes us like 13 days to make that decision, a day before flying. So those are like bits of information that we share with
Industry
the tourism,
players.
the industry. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So moving back to the non-work related. So
I thought we have been discussing on non-work.
this is more about how would you say about work-life balance in Google? I mean, a lot of companies will also
course,
say this, right? But what about Google? What's the
Ini malam ini special ya.
This is an
Malam
exception.
ini
Today
exception
is
ya.
exception.
Malam
Just
ini
for you guys.
exception.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, work-life balance.
Okay.
Purnomo.
Okay, I think ya pertanyaan bagus. I think work-life balance itu is really depends on each one of us.
Yeah,
Ya.
yeah.
So
That's
the
true.
way how we define work-life balance itu berbeda gitu. For me adalah
Exactly.
work-life balance itu the ability how you manage your time properly and have a commitment. Jadi untuk saya karena saya punya anak, satu anak. Jadi gimana sih saya bisa luangkan waktu, waktu tertentu, slot tertentu, dan saya komit bahwa during this period tidak ada yang bisa ganggu gitu.
Exactly.
Nah setelah nanti saya sudah spend waktu, setelah dia tidur, nah baru saya mulai spend waktu kembali untuk lihat kerjaan apa sih yang perlu saya persiapkan untuk besok. Jadi berbeda-beda. Tapi intinya adalah kalian punya kebebasan untuk bagaimana mengatur work-life balance that works for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about Adi's example?
Yeah, totally agree with Pur.
Yeah.
So maybe
I
I want
think
to
you
share
have more.
I want to share a bit on a personal story, kan.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, in Google, we have do not disturb time.
Yeah.
So even I can set like, oh, my boss, I don't want to be disturbed from this hour to this hour because
Okay.
this is my regular time
Yeah.
when I drop my kids to school.
Right.
And yeah, and I want to participate in that class because it was a baby class.
Yeah.
Yeah, so parents can participate in that class. So I feel that really rewarding ya,
Yeah.
karena di mana lagi lo bisa kerja kayak
Iyalah.
Yeah.
like a working.
So,
I'm literally the only dad in that class. Yeah, exactly. I was very. Even my wife cannot do that because she
Right.
needs to be in the office. So I was there alone. Like yeah. To be the only dad there make me feel so very grateful of the job that I'm doing now. And also the other thing is waktu istri saya hamil, waktu itu ya in the end of the process, in the end of the pregnancy itu agak bermasalah gitulah. Jadi kadang tuh I really need to go to the hospital,
Right.
and my boss was really ya udah pergi aja nggak usah izin gitu. So you need to know what your priority
Yeah.
gitu. So it's very easy. And also buat cuti gampang banget technically kayak
Okay.
I'm leaving. So I think it's a typical of as long as you get your job delivered well, all is in your hands on how and when do you want to do it.
Manage your time.
Yeah, I think it's really about being responsible lah. Like end of the day, I will not repeat like what they mentioned already, like the past. Tapi it's really more about being responsible. Like I think like
Exactly, benar.
even with the team that I'm working with, like we have like very, 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 very busy days. And like, okay, I would not say relaxed days, tapi yung certain times we're in like, okay, we can take a bit of time, like having a good cup of coffee, like really like talk with everybody, connect with everybody. Ini, and okay, I just realized the three of us are like parents.
Exactly.
So,
Myself actually.
Okay, parents
don't agree with
me also. Okay. No, but I think like so that was like because I stopped working for 2 years, so it was really like very very conscious and very personal decision for me to stop. And coming to Google, that was like one of the key things that I wanted, like to spend time with family niya. Like I want to be present, especially like during the first few years of my kid lah. So and it's just really being responsible, and I have a good team yang bisa bantuin saya. Okay, so
Fajar, tell us about
what
your
do you
work
think?
I think myself juga baru-baru ini juga join di Google, but I guess it's like the big thing here in Google about work-life balance. I mean, it's like everybody shares the same perspective. I mean, even I'm based in Singapore, so everybody there like 6 p.m., 6:30 udah lumayan sepi kantornya. I guess a lot of people will also have their own activities, and I guess that what helps them on keeping refreshed when it comes to going back to work the next day. So I guess that's like a real thing, at least from my end. What I've observed in other countries, so not only in Indonesia but also Google globally. But on the other hand though, what about managing stress? Like, how do you manage stress? Is there any particular way that you do this, or any particular company supports on that one, company program?
I was just doing like a personal health survey recently.
Okay.
So I think like on a regular basis, like there's like a check, and I think like the support team is there lah. Like somebody always checks on you. Like I mentioned something about everybody just becomes responsible. We have like that opportunity, like okay, you can work from home and stuff like that. But like in my team, I will be very specific. I always tell them, guys, if you work from home, tell me so I don't worry. You know, like in terms of managing stress, we have a meditation room, massage room. No, but I think in general, right? Like we encourage like people, like if you're feeling like stress or something is bothering you, like you can just like go somewhere, walk around. I think like in my team they always joke, like when I'm walking around with a pen, they know like Mads is thinking. So I walk around like maybe like 5 times around the office, so they know like this is how I manage stress. You know, like we have stressful days, we have like super good days. So it's just about like perspective lah.
What about you? Any different example?
I think for me, all job can be stressful kan sebenarnya. But for me, it's more on how you really channel that stress. You know. So in Google, I and my manager usually have a regular one-on-ones, right? Every week, bi-weekly, and during that time, we always have to check even to each other,
regular
like,
checkups.
How do you feel? Like even I can ask my manager, how do you feel? And he asks me, how do I feel? And I tell, I'm stressful because of this and that and stuff, right? And that really like helped me to kind of structure the challenges that I have and start to prioritize on the most impactful things. And hence I feel like, I got this covered. You know what I mean? And I think the Googlers that we have here always have our back. And I think it really give a good security. Jadi, we're not alone, right? If we are in this together. So I think this is really helpful to you know, manage your stress.
Kita banyak opsi sebetulnya sih. It depends karena stress itu memang real. It's happening. Jadi setiap orang itu punya cara sendiri-sendiri. Jadi mungkin go to meditations, go to yoga, do some activity, reading books. But yang Adi point, I think agree juga sama Matt bahwa we have each other, so we can have like a trusted friends or colleagues that will listen, at least listen, and then and hopefully they can come with a certain solution or some suggestion. Tapi it's really depends.
Yeah, and I want to add to that, right? Like I think I've experienced this wherein we were like so concerned about one particular thing. So when we stepped back and actually like thought about it, we're like, okay, we are not, the situation is not unique. So let's try to talk to somebody like not in Indonesia, like they experience it.
Yeah.
So like the support group, not just like in Indonesia, but like there's always like somebody out there who probably experienced it, so it really like helps out. And we have like the people ops, like okay, random message, like, can we talk, like it's always open lah.
Cool. So I guess we're reaching almost at the end of the session, but just one last closing question. I guess we're so sorry that we cannot answer all questions, but I guess if you are interested
go home, see
in
my kids.
understanding more,
We just speak of work-life balance.
go to the Google career
responsibility.
page. So see about any resources that you can find there, and also our moderator will be helping you with the answers to your questions as well. Now, one last closing question. How do you see diversity, equality, and inclusion in Google? I mean, it's must be something big in Google, but how do you guys see the implementation here as well?
I think I would say
I'm very included.
I'm very included. So I think very mixed. See, I mean, like we have like I'm an example also. I think like each one of us is very different from each other. I think like okay, like on the strict sense of, I would say I'm female. I'm not Indonesian. So like I'm already different. And my background is very different. Like I would say like it's very inclusive. Like I don't have anything else to add. Like what about you guys?
Inclusivity, I think I feel like it's a big problem in Indonesia, man. For real. Like I heard a lot of stories outside of our company that people, especially foreigners, doesn't feel included by the employee in that office, because sometimes like Indonesian we like to talk Indonesia and we like to talk in bahasa, and then sometimes the foreigners feel like, oh, I'm not included in the groups. But I think in Google the culture is very inclusive, so and it's very flat, meaning that I can talk with Matt easily even though she's higher than me in terms of level. So it feels like the foreigners are very much included in our conversation day to day. We eat lunch together with them. We laugh together with them. And we ask them to try Indonesian foods.
Right.
So it's I don't know. It's like maybe it's
why
uniquely Google.
Right.
Sometimes we have like foreigners guests from other Google office, and we're very happy to have them go with having lunch together with us and stuff like that.
I think mungkin yang perlu tambahin adalah mungkin Google somehow some way 20 tahun yang lalu they believe in Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Jadi artinya keberadaan contohnya adalah tadi yang Matt bilang dan Andi bilang bahwa we have a different background. Kita dibesarkan di keluarga yang berbeda juga.
Exactly, benar. Values-nya beda.
Value-nya berbeda. Tapi yang unik adalah bagaimana contohnya misalnya di ruang meeting, kita make sure bahwa semua orang itu punya suara. Itu salah satu contoh yang real. Dimana kita juga make sure bahwa orang ini punya kesempatan untuk menyampaikan pendapat.
Exactly.
Dan kita sebenarnya sih kita nggak pernah ngejudge ini. Jadi kita selalu open, we have open-minded, dan everyone tuh has its own opinion, dan kita value that, dan kita bahkan encourage, ayo sampaikan pendapatnya gitu. Terus yang kedua adalah profil yang kita cari juga berbeda gitu kan. Contohnya Adi itu punya certain profile, dia mungkin fokus di data. Matt tuh lebih ke liberal arts gitu kan. Mana ada yang kepikiran gitu liberal arts become a sales leader gitu. Saya juga belajar teknik belajar elektro terus.
You can help with my electronics at home.
I can help you. Dan elektro, tapi sekarang di sales juga. Jadi jangan khawatir karena justru ke aneka-ragaman, diversity itu yang membuat Google makin unik gitu, dan pemikiran-pemikiran berbeda itu membuat itu menjadi
different problems.
Different tough problem juga gitu. Karena kita punya input dari gimana sih art art person to approach certain problem.
Exactly.
Gimana sih orang yang punya
Data.
background data itu approach certain
Like
problem.
two contrasts, right?
Benar. Bagaimana orang teknik approach certain
Iya.
problem. Jadi ketika semua ini kita aduk dan kita brainstorm, and hopefully we have the right solution.
Yeah. And I think like something that triggered when you mentioned like people have this perception yang in Google everybody's an extrovert. But it's not true.
That's
I
true.
mean like when you join Google, like you're expected to do A, B, C, D. Tapi I think that's like part of yung diversity, part of like culture aja. Yang it's really more about like, okay, we try to understand like, okay, what are your strengths? We will not force you to do like something, but it's more about like enhancing what you already have. So I'm an introvert, guys.
Me too.
Oh, I'm very extrovert.
Bruno super excited.
Fajar?
Ambivert maybe.
Okay.
No, I'm a selective extrovert. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think like that's like very very special lah. Yang profile's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan kita embrace itu sih.
Yeah.
Like, we
That's
all
true.
embrace.
One of my colleague, an analyst colleague, was a criminologist before.
Wow.
So it's like, what? You're a criminologist? So cool.
All right. So I guess that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you very much to our viewers and also to Mads, Adi, and Purnomo for taking the time.
Thank you,
So
Fajar.
we will be looking forward
Thank you,
to
Fajar.
receive your application to join.
I guess you guys.
Yeah.
Send it our
So
way.
be sure to also look at the Google Careers page. The moderators will be copying the link so that you can just refer to that one and explore the one that suits you best. And also be sure to also fill in the survey for this session and see any improvement that you suggest for Google can deliver as well.
If you want us to make this regular,
Yeah.
masih boleh.
Sure.
You know?
More insights on what life in Google is.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much
Thank you
everyone.
guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Sampai jumpa. Bye.